Guys, so I know I promised that I would come on here more to talk more about my professional business and tips and tricks that I can give you from behavior analysis, and I've kind of fallen off of that wagon shortly after starting it. So here's me trying to hop back on the rails, and I wanted to really build off of my last Insta TV where I chit-chatted about how we're using signs with my daughter Evelyn, who's a year old, in order to better promote communication for her. And I had chatted a little bit about how we're really using that communication to replace behaviors because we're starting to see some real tantrums these days, because hearing no and not feeling that you're being understood are really huge emotions for these little guys. And this is not just something for like itty bitty kiddos. This is something for kiddos that don't have the exact words that they need to explain what's going on, and or kiddos that are using behavior a lot, because behavior is a form of communication. Whether you want to accept or acknowledge that or not, your child is using their behavior to communicate with you. And if they're using behaviors a lot, that's often because it's working for them. And they have learned that in order to get what they want or get out of something that they don't want, they need to use that behavior. So I'll just very quickly gloss over the fact that there are 4 functions of behavior: sensory, escape, attention, and tangibles. I'll dive into those later on maybe if people show some interest, but no matter which of those functions is the goal of your child's current behavior, of their current tantrum that they're having right now, your goal should be to instead prompt, promote, reinforce communication during that time, so that the next time they want to throw a tantrum in that same type of situation, they're more likely to attempt to communicate with you more appropriately. So, when Evelyn's having a tantrum, I very quickly try to identify why she's having that tantrum. You don't need to be super specific. You can just know oh, they might want something. Oh, they're feeling really overwhelmed with something that's going on. Oh, they really don't like something that's going on or something that's being offered to them. And you want to model and prompt a calm body. I will not ever force Evelyn to communicate until she's shown me some way that she's trying to calm herself down. So whether that's through I am modeling deep breathing and she takes a deep breath, I just don't want to inadvertently reinforce her screaming or other type of tantrum behavior, like stomping her feet is her new thing. You can inadvertently be reinforcing and promoting more use of that behavior if you are prompting her to communicate, eat. In the midst of that tantrum, she will think that that whole thing is how she's requesting to eat. So I identify why I think she's having the tantrum. I model and help her show me that she's trying to calm down and is not in the middle of a scream. And then I prompt some kind of communication. And even if that's just helping them get their little finger out there and pointing for you, pointing to something that you know that they want, or communicating to you that they're all done with something that's going on, even if it's that you've offered dinner and they're really not feeling what you've offered for dinner and they're throwing a tantrum over that, prompting for them to tell you that they're all done and they can get down, and then that's all that you're offering. So if they do want to eat, then just re-offering what you're offering for dinner. We can dive into that another time because I'm already almost at the 5 minutes that I promised myself for this. But that is what I want you to try and do during your kiddo's next tantrum. I want you to figure out why they might be having that tantrum, model having a calm body, whether that's through deep breathing, offering them a hug and rubbing their back, having them calm down so that they're not mid-scream, cry, throwing themselves on the floor, and then prompting some kind of communication, whether it's a sign, if your kiddo's talking, a word, or pointing. And this is for kiddos of all ages, even if they're throwing a tantrum because their sibling is trying to play with a toy that they wanted to have, helping your older child access communication and more appropriately say to their sibling and you what's going on instead of throwing a tantrum because they're not happy with the situation. So good luck, and let me know below if you tried it and how it worked for you.